Hi, welcome to the channel. I'm Andy Jenkinson, the caravan industry expert. Hi, well, belated 2023 to you all. I'm sorry I've not been on the vlog sooner. I've not been out on dealers forecourt since before Christmas, mainly because the weather's been poor, etc., and have had quite a few commitments regarding books and that type of thing, and trying to generally earn a living. Now, this vlog is very quick, hopefully, but it's been interesting about electric cars just lately. There's been quite a bit of thing about them on the media, and I first tested an electric car back in 2010. It was a Renault. I think it was like a booted version of a Megane. I can't remember what they called it now, but I remember it was the first car I drove, and I can't say I was over impressed. Especially when it accelerates, you watch the charge really start to sort of get eaten up. Anyway, we know things have moved on since then, and they came to the step of towing with them. And I remember being at, I think it was in Northwich in Cheshire, one afternoon with my wife, and I went into a Tesla so-called showroom, which was like going into some big shop that had been emptied with a couple of cars in it. Anyway, I got talking, and they were really sort of down in the fossil fuel cars, as they called them, and just looking at the weather, it's actually chucking it down actually. But anyway, yeah, and I came out and said, well, yeah, but what can it tow? It's good at towing. I said, oh, right, is it? And she said, yeah, it pulled a car out of some mud. I said, no, about towing a trailer and towing a caravan. She was pretty clueless. She could tell me everything about how fantastically green it was. It was a Tesla 3. And they had the new SUV in at the time, which, yeah, that can tow something. Anyway, cut a long story short, I know somebody on YouTube now going around with I think it's a Kia GT, towing various caravans he's sort of loaning or whatever. Really saying about electric cars for towing. Personally, they're still a long way away. I think the Kia GT, I think, tows 600 kilos, which is pretty good. Let's not knock that. But obviously the range is cut down dramatically. Be the equivalent of a petrol car doing like sort of 10 miles to the gallon towing, and unless you were in some really big gas guzzling thing, that's not going to happen. So limitation on how far you can tow, and then of course it's charging them up again. And of course you can't draw up at a charging point with a trailer or a caravan attached. You just can't do it. They're not made for it. So what we have to do, you have to unhitch that caravan or your trailer. And if you're at a motorway service station, I don't think you're allowed to leave a caravan or a trailer unattended in a parking spot. Also, it's liable to get nicked as well, so that's a bit of a downer. And also, when it comes to charging on sites, well, I'm sure sites will sort of start to charge you more for charging your electric car. So consequently, the electric car is still a long way behind. Now, Hyundai don't recommend towing with their small electric cars, which, interesting enough, this Kia GT, which this chappie is using, you should probably know him, he's using, but Hyundai don't recommend it. Kia are all part of the same group, so is that something to be watching if you have a warranty work with an electric car and you're towing, because it may come to the fact that if you're towing, they may not cover the warranty, depends on what's gone wrong. Now, I'd also heard that manufacturers are also looking at the fact is that if you're towing one of their vehicles, it's putting a lot of stress and strain on the electric motors, and there's a good chance it's going to really put a lot of wear and tear on them, and possibly lead to a breakdown in effect. So again, I think you need to look at, if you're buying an electric car and you're going to tow with it, you really need to be getting asked. I wouldn't even rely on the salesman. I'd actually get onto the manufacturer's importer and find out what the outcome is if you have problems with your car and you've been using it to tow. So that's something to look at. Plus as well, I mean, I've had quite a few electric cars in over the last couple of years. One of the last ones was the new Corsa, which was a great car, but the range was pretty limited. And I had to, I mean, it took me a journey to get back from Flintshire up to Blackpool, and it took twice as long because I had to stop off for a charge. I had to charge it to be off for at least an hour to get me enough juice to get me back, and also I had to limit to what I could put on in the car heater wise, and my speed. I had to keep an eye on that so it was more economical. So that was a bit of a downer for me on that as well. I think they've got potential in towns, electric cars, for zipping around, great, not a problem. But then again, if everybody goes on electric cars, just think of the extra amount of strain that's going to put on the national grid. I mean, they're already saying about people sort of turn things off at 5 o'clock and 6 o'clock. So, and also they said, there was a guy on the TV and he said, oh, he said, if you've got an electric car, don't bother charging it up until later on. Try and not charge it up in that peak amount. So come on, this is the future, so they're telling us. Anyway, I'm sure you'll be able to go to the NEC show, which is coming over the next few weeks. I normally go to the Glasgow show, but I can't do it this year because basically it's not financially viable for me to go. I'd love to go, I like the show, I know a lot of people, but financially I just can't do it. So we've got to knock that one on the head, unfortunately. The NEC, I've got to do the NEC. Hopefully it will be viable, probably by the skin of my teeth. But anyway, my accountant keeps telling me off. But anyway, generally, you know, that show will be a dictator as to how the market's going to go. Now, I was at the Manchester show very recently, and that's been back after 3 years, and it's gone back to its old GMEX Centre. Well, it's called Manchester Central now, Exhibition Centre. It was a very small show, but do you know what? That show was buzzing with a lot of people, and my reports back from various dealers I know came back and said it was a good show. So hey, NEC maybe, you know, with cost of living going up, I don't know about you, but all my bills have doubled and my wages haven't. In fact, my wages have actually gone down. So you know, unfortunately I can't go on strike. You know, I've got to put up with it and take the heating off and things like that. I've got to cut back, and it's a shame that there's going to be a lot of people like me in that same situation. To the stage where I don't know if I'll be able to even afford the caravan park fees anymore, because I know the site fees have gone up, and it's just really going to kill it, I think, really, to be quite honest. Oh, phone call coming through. Better quickly get that. I had about 5 phone calls this morning. Odd ones of them for work, actually. That's pretty good. Right, I don't know what I was saying before. I've forgotten. I've lost my thread. Yeah, I think Glasgow show, NEC. If you see me again at the NEC, I'll put the old YouTube jumper on. Please come and say hello. I know a lot of you did at the October show and at the February show, actually. So I was really pleased about that. People have really come up with some good comments. Say apologies for not getting anything really on the channel, but I have been tied up with some, you know, quite a few other things really. And of course the channel doesn't really make me any money at all. In fact, it makes very little. So, you know, it is still unfortunately very yeah, it doesn't support itself, that's for sure. But I need more subscribers, so I need more people liking, subscribing the channel. As I say, I'm going to do some sitting down stuff. Also, I want to redo a new intro again and an outro, cut them down, because I just like to change things around a lot, really, now and again. I get a bit fed up myself on them. So, as I say, hopefully I'm going to get out and get some more new stuff done, and a bit of new stuff as well. There's the new, oh, that's just quickly reminds me before I go, Bailey have revamped the Discoveries, so I'm looking forward to seeing those. Now, Bailey used to do a little trade show, but they've finished doing all that now, so I think they'll make their first public appearance probably at the NEC, on the Bailey stand, so hopefully I'll go and get some reviews on those, and I'll give you my thoughts on them. Never been a massive Discovery fan, not because so much of the you know, I like the lightness and the price, but it's just that profile to me leaves a lot to be desired. And the interior, again, is not bad. Seating's not overly comfortable, but you know, you are talking a very entry-level van. And I think really, you know, there is a market for them. And you know, I've had a few people from New Zealand come on to me about how they love them. Excuse me, how they love them. So we'll see what they have to do with them. I don't think they'll, excuse me again, I don't know what they'll be changing. I think it'll just be the interior. But hopefully, what I do hope they do with the Discovery is produce more family models on it, because I think it is very limited to its layouts. And it needs a good family layout actually. It'd be good to see a double dinette layout into that. That might work quite well actually on the Discovery. Of course, it depends what the price is like, because we know everything's going up. Anyway, I love you and leave you, and I better get back to the old tax and stuff, keeping an eye on the emails, and I'm also babysitting my granddaughter today, who's just in the other room there, and she's fallen asleep. Not, I hasten to add, because she's been listening to me on the YouTube channel. She's been watching CBeebies and all that sort of thing. Teletubbies, you know. Anyway, basically, I will say love you and leave you, and please keep subscribing, please keep giving all your comments, it's great to hear. Bye for now, see you on the next video. Hopefully that'll be sooner rather than later. You might even do a Manchester show report, but the sound quality was diabolical. Anyway, we'll see. I'll see what I can do on that, because it was a good nice little show. I know it's been and gone now, it's old history, but it was still good. Anyway, see you later. Thanks for watching the video. Hope you like them. Please don't forget to press the thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel. Bye for now.